National Disaster Management Authority has organized a two-day national workshop on heat wave on the 13th and 14th February 2024 at Vigyan Bhavan, New Delhi, in the gracious presence of Shri Kiran Rijiju, Honorable Minister of Earth Sciences. Its theme was Management Interventions and Mitigation Strategies for Heat Wave. Shri Kamal Kishore, Member and HOD NDMA, in his welcome address said,
"A very warm welcome to all of you to this workshop. I also want to appreciate the collaboration in the area of heat wave risk management that we've had with the Ministry of Earth Sciences over the last 5-6 years. By way of welcome address, I just want to say three things. The first thing is that this is an annual workshop that we do for taking stock of how prepared we are for the upcoming heat wave season, or most of you have prepared heat action plans. So my first point is that we should really use how well those heat wave action plans are serving us. Last year, in one or two places, we observed significant increase in mortality. Why did it happen? What was lacking in our heat action plans? Were they not practical? Did we not have capacity at the local level? Can we improve the way we communicate the heat wave forecast to people? My second point is that this year, we have tried to really make this whole thing more people-oriented. Hear from our colleagues in the army who stay in some of the hottest parts of the world in extremely high temperatures, operating tanks, and they have over decades developed systems to deal with extreme heat conditions. What is it that we can learn from them? And the third point is that so far we have focused a lot on saving lives, but we really have to go beyond that and see how we can reduce losses in infrastructure, reduce loss of livelihoods as a result of heat wave. It is going to be a big problem for the country, in view of climate change.
One of the prime objectives of the national workshop is to collaboratively collect wisdom to develop India's framework for heat wave mitigation by bringing together stakeholders from government and private bodies, health sector, meteorological departments, urban planning, NGOs, and community organizations. The framework in context will aim to integrate various strategies ranging from immediate emergency response to long-term adaptation for building heat wave resilience. The special address was delivered by Dr. M. Ravichandran, Secretary, Ministry of Earth Sciences.
One of the important things nowadays in the global warming scenario, if you talk about the heat wave stress index, actually, we need to be not only heat wave, I think ideally it should be heat wave stress index we have to call. And the number one comes to the early warning or the forecast of heat wave. Of course, when you're talking about the early warning of heat wave, it is embedded with observations, modeling, and also communication, all these things involved. Not only the temperature is very important, but also the major important thing is also humidity and wind. And also we need to have many other factors, maybe the climatological importance of that particular thing, that area, location specific and area specific, all are embedded. This year when we are coming forward, we have to make an index or the heat stress index, which should be a function of not only for the maximum temperature or the temperature alone, but also the humidity, wind, and also the local heat climate index. IMD has prepared each district how over the period the maximum temperature is evolved. It is important each district collector should have how their local has increased over the past 100 years. And now whenever the changes are happening, the anomalies are happening, how we have to equip with or saving people and other things. So apart from early warning, the important thing is public awareness is equally important. So for that, I think we need to educate the common people, the importance, whatever the impact is going to happen, the heat stress index, that we need to educate them so that they can prepare. And ideally, we need to make vulnerable districts, vulnerable populations where they are there, especially agriculture sectors or construction workers or maybe the defense forces where they have some people have culminated. All these areas we need to identify and we have to keep it ready, that records. If possible, wherever the heat index is going to come, we know that over the climate, maybe the last 100 years record, we know which area is going to be likely to happen. That area, we need to keep maybe a shelters, some shelters, maybe simple cooling shelters or anything. And also we need to have some first aid boxes, like if it has happened dehydration or heat stroke, how we have to equip with that. That also we have to keep in that particular areas and other things.
Shri Kiren Rijiju, Honorable Union Minister of Earth Sciences, in his inaugural address highlighted the need of precautionary measures.
I am very happy that this national workshop on heat wave is conducted well on time. It is a well thought, well timing action plan. If we plan now in the beginning of February itself, then we will have a better action plan. And I believe that every stakeholder, especially the state governments and important organizations, have planned it out. Topics in the technical session which are kept are very exhaustive. We will get benefit out of all the outcomes and the suggestions which will flow out of this important workshop. Give a commitment that whatever action plan you have drawn, we will execute it as a team. After all, when it comes to any kind of preparation or handling any disaster situation, it is a teamwork, right from the individual at the community level to the top policy level. And India has come a long way. When NDMA was established in 2005 as a part of India's commitment to the global collaboration, so we enacted the law in the parliament. I have time and again recalled what I used to speak that time as a member of parliament in 2005. And if I see now, what a transformation. That time what I used to think and the suggestions which I had given on the floor of the parliament, we have far outpaced those suggestions which I used to have. How much we have grown in our stature, experience, capacity and everything. Now our NDRF is one of the finest force to handle any disaster situation, including the SDRF in the states. So, right from the top, when Prime Minister Modi ji launched the National Action Plan for Disaster Management in 2016, so we were one of the few countries who took the initiative. So India has become a kind of a leading nation in the world to tackle disaster management. When it comes to the heat wave, it is extremely a matter of great concern for everybody. Earlier we used to be at the mercy of the weather conditions, and the climatic shift has a tremendous impact in our daily life. Not only the human beings, for everything from the living things to non-living things. 2000 years back, those dense forest areas are now deserts. And in our own lifetime, we have seen deserts being created into a oasis or greenland. So the transitions and transformations are really rapid. And I give my full commitment to ensure that all necessary collaboration, all our joint efforts will be in a truly professional sense, genuinely. We will give everything, whatever it takes. And I also assure the state governments, on behalf of the Prime Minister, the central government is ever ready to work with all the stakeholders, especially the state government and all the important organizations and the stakeholders. Extremely important, and definitely we will be much more better prepared what we were last year and previously.
In this workshop, many technical sessions were held, such as early warning and climate services, health impacts of heat wave, impact of heat wave on infrastructure and production sectors and mitigation strategies, experience sharing of heat wave management, voices from the field, urban heat island and impact on vulnerable communities, preparedness and mitigation, heat action plans, preparedness and mitigation strategies, and mainstreaming mitigation strategies. In these sessions, many experts from the concerned fields expressed their views. Narrated by Manoj Mainkar, scripted and produced by Dilip Jha, this radio report on the National Workshop on Heat Wave 2024 came to you from Akashvani, Delhi.